Hey guys, this is Blake from Blake's Sanctum, retro site for retro games. Welcome to another episode of my video series of rarely seen Starflight fan remakes, spin-offs and sequels. I'm doing this series as part of a big update to my Starflight gaming website that tributes all the awesome fan projects out there. And this is my video tour of Starflight, the Lost Colony. Starflight The Lost Colony is a fan-made spin-off, so not a remake or a sequel or any other things other fans have tried. This is a spin-off game, and it is currently, at this point in 2018, still the only completed fan project out there. None of the others got there, whereas this one did. And it's a pretty good game. It's a little rough around the edges in some places, but it's still a really good game. And if you're a classic Starflight fan, then I strongly suggest you check this game out. And you know, I've seen people complain, oh, it's a bad remake and stuff like that. It's not a remake, it's a spin-off. This tells the story of the Noah 3 colonist survivors and from Earth, because Starflight players might recall there was a Noah 9 mission storyline, and so presumably there were 8 other Noah ships before that, so that allows the opportunity for spin-offs, and these guys took that hook, line and sinker and made a story out of it. And so in this particular story, you haven't met any aliens yet, and you're just sort of starting out and trying to make your way out from your new homeworld. So shall we get the game rolling? Let's do this. Alrighty, let's create a new character for you, starting with your choice of profession. Choose science, freelance or military career. So this is something different to what we're used to in Starflight games, and there are sort of advantages and disadvantages. So let me see this. You can have a science ship that's obviously not the best ship to take into combat, but is presumably better at, or gets more rewards for finding colonies and perhaps, let me see, monetary and retirement perks. The freelancer is probably not too bad at fighting, probably, let me see, good at exploring as well. Maybe even this one up might actually even be the sort of the in-between ship, as it's probably quite good at the science stuff, quite good at the combat, but it actually gets some extra cargo room, so that could be quite a fun one. And then you've got the military, of course. This will be the stronger ship, better in combat, so it might be better for noobs. So why don't I pick that? And in fact, before I start the game, I should also mention that while I said this was a complete game, one of its original creators, Jon Harbour, is actually working on updating the game from Allegro to using DirectX, so that it's better and more customizable on modern systems, and stretched to various different resolutions and all that sort of thing. And but sadly, none of the old team have been interested in helping. They've all moved on with their lives, and so and he's sort of, I think, sort of given up a bit on trying to do the whole thing himself. So he could use some helpers. So if you're good with C++ and coding stuff for DirectX, then and you already know that you're taking on an existing game where all the sort of a lot of the work's already done. You're just sort of basically improving and changing things. Then put something in the and of course you're a Starflight fan and have always wanted to work on a Starflight game, then post something in the comments and I can get you in contact with John, and it'd be really great actually to see this game worked on again, because it's a pretty good product. But anyway, so let's select military. You need to enter a name for your captain and then set your attribute points. 5 points to durability or learning rate, and then 25 points to all the rest. Must allocate all the points before continuing. Alright then. So we're going to go with Blake. And we'll just do an even spread. Get some skills that we didn't have here. What should we want to do? Maybe pump up the navigation a bit. Accept. Let's get this game going. go. Launch. Welcome to Starport, Captain. If you haven't already, please head over to the war room for your first assignment. Use the cursor keys to move left or right. Use the up key to enter a room. You can change the default keys from the settings option on the title screen. Alrighty, so look at this. You're walking around in some kind of either spacesuit or you're a robot, it's kind of hard to tell. And there's like a research laboratory there with experiments going on, and turns out the science players get their missions from here, whereas if you try as a military, you're like, you get this, you got no jurisdiction here! Report to your commander or whoever. And we'll visit these very soon to do stuff. And let me see, look at that. Gulash Cola! Yummy! I wonder if that's a bit of a sort of a Futurama, bit of a joke there, or hiking back to space games of old where you've got aliens drinking soft drink and stuff. Space Quest comes to mind. Oh, and the cantina, that's where the freelancers go to get their missions. Hey bub, aren't you late for a briefing in the war room? This is where military players go to get their missions. Crystal wants you. Alright. Welcome to the Starport, Captain. Although the Starport is a large facility and its resources are at your disposal, it can be a bit overwhelming to a new captain. So to help you get familiar with the Starport's resources, we're going to take a quick tour of the facility and help you to configure your ship to ready for the main voyage. Let's begin at the docking bay where your ship is berthed. Go take a look, then come back here for further instructions. So yes, this game has got, it'll sort of walk you through what you would normally do anyway, which is of course to hire your crew and put your ship together and all that kind of stuff. And it is actually possible to simply put your ship together and do stuff on your own a bit, but you kind of need to do a bit of the tutorial stuff because it gives you money. MSS Devastator. Ooh, I like that name. It's good. We'll leave that. I won't rename it to Enterprise like I normally do in the games. Let's buy and sell and repair systems. Buy another terrain vehicle. Doesn't look like you can configure its system, sadly. And here's also where you launch. That was an easy mission. Completed. So you look up there and it tells you accomplished. You follow orders well, Captain. Now let's continue. You've received 500 credits. See, that's why you do some of the tutorial stuff. You get nice rewards for it. But if you want to skip the tutorial, once you've got enough money to buy a bit of Endurium, you can fly off and pick up this hypercube thing, but it's probably easier just to follow the missions and get yourself ready to go. Now let's introduce you to the bank. This is where you can quickly see your balance of monetary units, MUs. The banker can also give you a loan if you were ever strapped for credits. A word of caution though, if you fail to repay a loan, your hyperspace license could be suspended. Go visit the bank, then return here. That's an easy one, so there's how much money I've got. I can take a loan and then presumably pay it back, whatever amount I want. Presumably the larger the amount, the nastier the interest. Yeah. Complete. Great. Continuing onward. You received 800 credits. Next stop on our tour of the Starport is the Trade Depot. This is where you will sell the ores and lifeforms gathered on planets or acquired from alien interaction, so to speak. Most importantly, this is where you will go to buy more fuel for your ship. Go to the Trade Depot, then return here. Another easy one. Go look. So there's where we can buy Endurium, some metals and stuff, and we'll obviously be able to sell stuff once we start mining and things. Great, now let's continue with the tour. Another 500 credits. You're almost ready to take your ship out for your first Starflight. Before you can exit the Starport in your new ship, you will need to familiarise yourself with the Starport's crew support facility. Go visit the personnel department. There you will need to assign your ship's crew. Hire a crew member for each station that your ship requires. Then highlight each crew member and assign them to the station. To their station. A station. Going well. So I don't want the docking bay. I don't want the captain's lounge either. We want personnel. Welcome to crew match 0.31. So here's where we hire people. So we've already got Captain Blake. Now we need to hire some more people. So in this game you don't have, you don't like make your own crew. They're already there and you pick from a selection based on their skills. So for instance, I'd look at this tactical guy and see how good he is there. And we'll compare him to this one. Appears to be a bit less at tactical, might be better at some other stuff, but you know, he's going to be our tactical officer, so I think that it matters more how good he is there, or she. That one's still the winner, isn't it? Oh no, wow. Marshall Bliss, you're the winner. So it basically goes like that for hiring each of your crew members. So I'm going to do that, and I'll probably end up fast forwarding this bit so you guys don't get bored to death with this bit, and we can get on to the adventuring. Last of all, our medical officer. Click on her, click on the job, and bang! We have our crew assembled. Alrighty. Complete. Did you assign a crew member to each ship station? If not, you'll need to do that before you leave the docking bay. Now let's continue your tour. Receive 500 credits. Now that you're familiar with the Starport and what is required of a captain, I think it's time for a test flight. As the captain of one of the earliest ships constructed at the Mirian Starport shipyard, we need you to give her a good shakedown cruise prior to her maiden voyage. You should now have enough resources to purchase a set of engines, a cargo pod, and a unit of Endurium. Your first mission is a simple engine fire-up test. Take her out of the Starport, run a few orbits around Miridan, then return. You can depart from the Starport via the docking bay. After completing the orbital maneuver, your navigation officer will be able to dock with the Starport again. Alright, we get to go flying. We've got to buy some stuff first. Alright, so we need an engine. Class 1. And we need some cargo pods. Got just enough for a unit of Endurium. They're clever to make sure that you can't do anything else, because if you do, you'll stuff yourself. Confirm. What did I do? There we go. Oops, I think I clicked all. I get used to doing that when I'm selling items, because I was doing a test game shortly before this. So we've got some Endurium, and I think we're ready to go. Alright, here we go. Launch. We're travelling in the star system, move the ship using the same keys. Here we go. So look at this, guys. Now this game is a bit different to traditional stuff like in that you will use fuel all the time and the solar systems are huge, so you really got to be careful about how you do stuff. And you can't just keep your finger down as well, because that'll use the engines more, so you got to be quite delicate. Now, we go here, our navigation officer, we can orbit the planet. Look at this. Miridan, beautiful Earth-like planet. We may as well get our science officer to do some stuff with it. Even though that's not part of the mission, why not? Let's see if she's paying attention. I think I'm getting better at this. Our beautiful homeworld of Miridan. It's medium in size, its gravity is optimal, the atmosphere is breathable, and the temperature is tropical. Sounds like a lovely place. Alright, so I think we've just fulfilled our mission, so we can now, we've got, so you can land on the planet or dock at the Starport. Let's do that. Bang! Another mission down. Great, you survived! I mean, we have the utmost faith in our ships, of course. Now let's proceed. You receive 1,000 credits. It's time to log some more star hours. Are you ready for another flight? Another vital ship component is the sensor system. It is your eyes and ears in space. We need to test the sensors to ensure they are functioning within normal parameters. Go to the nearby planet Islay and establish orbit. Then perform a full planetary scan. Your science officer will be able to perform this function. Note that the most fuel-efficient thrust consists of intermittently holding the thrust key, not holding it continuously. Return here when complete. Yes, that's what I was talking about, and it's not a great system. It's actually quite frustrating. I think players would be more interested in focusing on the adventure instead of having to worry about, bloody how they're pressing the key on the keyboard. It's, irritating. As let's face it, if you were piloting the spaceship, you really think the controls would be like that? No. There'd be computer systems and all sorts of lovely engine stuff going on to make sure it's all handled for you. But anyway, let's go. Now, and you can also check your stuff here. Go to the planet Islay and test the ship's planetary scanner. So, where's Islay? You can hold your mouse over things and it'll tell you their names. So yeah, that's Islay there. So, point this way, and we need to make sure, I think this is deliberate to teach you a lesson that you're not supposed to go near the sun, because things get a bit nasty if you get too close to it. Oh, I'm not meant to be holding, so I think it's like push, 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 like kind of like that. Because if you just do this, look at that, you don't do jack, you're actually using more fuel. There we go. It's got a lava-y world. Ready to establish orbit. Orbit planet. Nice. Cool lava-y planet. I like how it's a good merge of 2D and 3D stuff, sort of like the original game in many ways. Alright, so we've got to scan it, don't we? Records indicate this molten planet is called Islay. It is small in size, gravity is very low, the negligible atmosphere contains only trace gases, and the temperature is an inferno. Wow, let's recommend this for colonization. Woohoo! Alright, so we're going to break orbit and head back. Man, they really make you want to get a better engine, don't they? Oh, the ship's shaking. Captain, we should steer clear of the sun. I'm holding my button down. Naughty Daniel. There we go. Alright. Dock with Starport. It's a pity they don't have like the Starport sort of floating in orbit. I always wished all the Starflight games had that. Actually showing the Starport there in orbit. Sega Genesis Mega Drive version did, although it actually covered the planet, so you couldn't even see Earth beneath it. It's like, they see all the Starflight games only give you one or the other and not both. Completed. The ship's sensors performed above expectations. You receive 1,000 credits. A critical antimony shortage on Mirrodin has delayed the launch of many of your co-explorers. A number of durable ship components require that metal. Instead of paying exorbitant prices planetside, we have divided up the chore of obtaining this mineral between all of the operational ships in the area. Your task is to mine 5 cubic meters of antimony ore from Sen Labor. Mining is one of the most effective ways of raising capital for the ship upgrades and fuel costs, so feel free to pick up any additional ore to keep your fuel tanks full. But do not delay in bringing back this essential shipment. Right, our first mining mission. So, how are we doing for money now? got 2,000 credits, so let's get some more cargo pods. They start to give you a little bit of freedom here. In my test game I regretted not buying more cargo pods. There we go, so that gives us enough to go buy another thing of Endurium, because the planet we're going to actually has some Endurium on it, so we can actually mine fuel to get back. Although I've noticed you can actually fly around the solar system without fuel. I don't know if that's meant to be happening, but it does let you. But it just doesn't let you leave the system or land without fuel. So we go to the trade depot and we'll get some more Endurium. Buy 1, confirm. Beautiful. Alrighty. Let's go get this mission done. Launch. And check that planet name again. At least 5 cubic meters of antimony ore from Sen Labor. Alright. Sen Labor, where are you? That's you there. Alright, so we're gonna go down. Yeah, in my test game I stuffed this up a bit and I ended up having to make like 3 trips. Because I had like 1 cargo bay. So I'd like, you know, it was practically full of fuel. And I was burning fuel to get there and pick up only a couple of things, so yeah. We've learned our lesson this time. Orbit planet. Ooh, rocky. Tell me about it, science officer. Astronomy records indicate this rocky planet is called Sen Labor. It is medium in size, the gravity is optimal, there is no atmosphere, and the temperature is searing. That sounds like a nice place. So let's finally land the ship so I can show you guys that. Da-da-da! So this is almost a bit Genesis style in that you can control the ship and actually fly it around the surface of the planet. And as you can see, the green stuff are life forms. Some are hostile, some are not. It actually costs you fuel to move around the planet, so you've got to be careful with that. So it's probably safer, since you don't know until you scan someone whether they're hostile or not, and often they're already charging at you by then, it's probably safer to go mine where there isn't anyone around. So we've got our terrain vehicle, you move around, you click on something, you scan it. Bismuth. Mine. Just keep going until the supply runs out. There we go. Successful mining. No aliens nearby, that's good. Oh, antimony. Excellent. That's excellent. So that's 3 of the 5 we need. We're off to a good start. In my test game, somehow I managed to find everything but that as well. I just had no luck. And what else? You don't have to worry about... Oh wait, hang on. We better get back on the ship. We're running out of fuel. Fly over here. It'll be cheaper to use the ship to get around, isn't it? Fuel-wise, I think. Is there yep, there's one up here too. I think, from what I've noticed, the substance we want is often in sand. Yes, this is lead. Alright, well I wasn't able to find any Endurium, but I found heaps of it in my test run, but anyway. Alright, I'll launch the ship. Well, we run out of fuel, but we just mined a lot of stuff to make money out of though. Break orbit. I should also point out that this game was created by members of the Some of them were former members of the Starflight 3 team, so you'll sort of notice there's some familiar assets or music and stuff from the Starflight 3 demo, and some of the remakes and stuff. There was, you know, a lot of sharing around the community, and it was all happening on the good old Interstel forums back in the day. Dock. I gotta stop doing that. Of course, you know, when you're flying the spaceship, up is forward. So of course the first thing I do is hit up when I go to the starbase to move forward, but it's like, no, that opens the door. Accomplished. Good work. Now you can sell any collected ore at the trade depot. I certainly will. 2,000 credits. You've demonstrated your skill at mining for ores with the terrain vehicle, but ores are relatively easy to find and pick up. A local collector has offered to fund a sizable amount of your ship's construction in exchange for an exotic life form that our probes have recently picked up. Your terrain vehicle is equipped with a stun weapon that is capable of taking down even the largest and most violent of life forms. But you have to be fast and furious in the terrain vehicle to keep from becoming lunch for some of the more dangerous varieties. Your mission is to capture a humanoid hopper and return it to the Starport. This lifeform can be found on the planet Ildathatch. I don't know. Now, admittedly, this is a part of the game that I'm not a huge fan of, simply because you have to click on lifeforms and scan them, and then you're allowed to stun them, and it's, you know, by that time you're already dead. I mean, it's so easy to lose a terrain vehicle because they just charge at you. I mean, they move at about possibly 3 times the speed that creatures moved on the Mega Drive version. I can't remember how much they move on the PC one, but you know, they're lightning fast, and there's no fire key. You don't have a dedicated fire button. You have to actually click on them and then click the stun button while aiming your vehicle at them, which is just, yeah, I wish they'd come up with a better way. I wish they'd just give you a dedicated fire key. Don't worry about scanning, just, you know, good old shoot first and ask questions later kind of mentality. Because that's how it worked on the Genesis, and it was great. But that's really one of my only complaints about this game. So, look at all these lovely things we can sell. Sell all. Confirm. Now we better get some Endurium, because I wasn't able to find any on the planet, sadly. So we'll go. Ouch. But anyway. Okay. And do I want to do anything with the ship systems? Yeah, it's like 8,000 for a class 2 engine. I'd love a new engine, it'd be lovely. But alright. Get another cargo pod. There we go, 5 cargo pods. Get a decent amount of stuff. So, check the mission orders again. Humanoid hopper, life form from the planet Ildathatch? Ildathatch. Where is Ildathatch? That one! Looks like an icy planet quite nearby to us. Close enough. There we are. Well, that looks icy, doesn't it? Astronomy records indicate this frozen planet is called... I'm not going to say it again, I hate it. It's a small planet in size and gravity is low. The negligible atmosphere contains only trace gases and the temperature is Arctic. Sounds like another nice place. Let's go down and have a look. Now, fortunately, because I've done this before, I know what I need to do, but I've watched, like, you know, Let's Play videos, and everyone has struggled with this mission. I think a lot of people may have, like, rage quit after this mission, so I wish they'd kind of done it a bit differently, because there are a great many creatures on this planet, and a lot of them, you know, well, sorry, one of them in particular is extremely hostile and very fast. What's this thing? This thing is horrible. It is basically this thing. If I drop my terrain vehicle, it will literally fly at me and destroy me in a matter of seconds. It is horrible, that thing. Thankfully, that is not the creature we need, because you don't know that until you scan it. So a lot of people lose their terrain vehicle in this mission. It's like 2 grand for another one, so it's kind of almost like game over. You've got to reload your save. It's not one of these, but they're harmless, so you know we can actually capture some of these guys if we want. It's probably easy to bloody get the medals. Look at that. There's one of those horrible guys. Humanoid Hopper looks like this giant sluggy thing. So I know what it looks like now. It's just... Oh, there it is. It's this thing. Now, is there one of those horrible things nearby? There is! Urgh. Alright, we need to be mindful of that. He comes this way. I am like proper... Scan. Stun. Don't kill it. We got it. We got it. Get back on the ship right now. It's quite stressful when you got one of these things nearby. They are horrible. Don't even bother trying to capture one of them. Ugh. I mean, I did do it. I managed to do it in my test game, but I'm just not going to do it while I'm recording, because I no doubt I'll die. So it talks about the kind of creature it is here. I know all about it. Something else we can have a go at? No. Get away from me. I hate those things. Yeah, what's this green thing? I'm pretty sure they're harmless. Come here. Alright, we got another one. What kind of minerals are on this planet? Not bad. I might just fill the cargo hold with stuff now. Whoa, Endorium! Yes, please. What is that? Outpost, you have discovered a ruin site. I didn't see this in my test game. The apparatus appears to be a robotically built transmitter capable of broadcasting. Power source is long dead. I wonder if that comes into the story at some point. That's interesting. I did not see that in my test game. Cool. Now look at this, guys. Notice how it's a green dot? This thing is a humming rock. Harmless creature that resembles a rock. So I'll stun it a bit just in case. Yeah. What's this thing? A hive plant. Harmless. I'll take one of you. Alright, I think that's everything. We've got lots of creatures and minerals. Let's get out of here. Feel that the planets have a bit of an orbital pull, so you don't move as quickly when you're trying to get away from them. Alright, sir, I have your rare creature. Capital Petting Zoo appreciates your donation of this strange creature. 1,000 credits. The age-old myths about our origins have become our heroic stories of legend, and there is no greater legend than that of Captain Merryweather, who guided our ancestors aboard the Noah III colony ship, which was launched from our native homeworld of Earth over a millennia ago. During the urgent struggle to find a habitable world in this system, a single technologically advanced probe was sent and retrieved from each planet to obtain more detailed readings on possible life-sustaining environments beyond what the ship sensors were able to discern at first glance. The hypercube, as we now call it, was lost in space just before the fortuitous last-minute discovery of Mirrodin. A signal from the device has been triangulated from a nearby system on the northern edge of a deep valley on Kuan in the FAD system near the center of the northern hemisphere. Pick it up and return this historical treasure to Mirrodin as soon as possible. Note, to skip the training missions in future games, simply collect the hypercube at any time. Alrighty. Sounds like fun. I'm gonna sell my stuff first. Ah, look at the little creature. What do we want to put on our ship? Shield would be nice, wouldn't it? And how about some lasers? Take everything we've got, but we need to travel out of this solar system, which means we could be in danger because there's pirates and freelancers out there. Save the game. Interesting aspect of this game is that you can jump into hyperspace at the moment you move. You don't have to fly out of the system to go into hyperspace. You can literally just activate your jump drive once you move a bit further out of planetary orbit. An artifact loaded in the northern edge of Deep Valley on Kuan in the FAD system. The FAD system, or whatever the hell it is. Star map. So that one is the system we want. Alright, so if we try to use it here, oh no, it's going to let me. Ah, sweet. Freelancers and pirates frequent this area of space. I haven't fought a battle yet, so I don't know what'll happen, but anyway. Range of 2 planets, alright. Excellent. Kuan, that's the one we want. Rocky planet. Let's scan it. This rocky planet is called Kuan. It is medium in size and gravity is optimal. There is no atmosphere and the temperature is Arctic. Fair enough. Descend to surface. Now this planet is this mission is another one that messes people up, because they say that it's in the northern edge of a valley, but it's actually on the northern edge of this mountain hill range. I mean, surely anyone looking at this map can see that this is actually the higher terrain. I mean, and I know it's not just me, because I've watched a few Let's Plays and it threw them off too. It's I think there's a little mess up here with the people who drew the maps and the people who set up the mission stuff, because here it is. Because I mean, it is actually on the northern edge of a valley here. You can see this is probably lower than the rocky terrain, higher terrain there, which you can't land on, but it just doesn't match the mini-map. That's the problem. Alright, so look at this. It's like a ruins. Primitive structures. You have discovered a ruin site. Study. These primitive ruins show signs of extreme age and terrible disrepair. Look at this thing. Hypercube. This is an extremely important and rare artifact. We're not close enough. You successfully hollow recorded the hypercube. Ooh. Alright. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So we need to get out of orbital range. Activate the hyperdrive. Sensors are picking up movement. Let's not find out what that is. Perhaps I'll do that after this mission actually. I'll go hunting for a... oops, look at the wrong blue thing. I'll go looking for a fight. So I can show you guys battle. I got no idea what it's like though. This is a wonderful find, absolutely marvellous. Good work, Captain. Your training is now complete. Receive 10,000 credits. Now, if you feel that your ship is up to specs, take her out on a shakedown cruise to familiarise your crew with her full operations. Fly directly to the Breathagurn system 11847 and return again. Be sure that your propulsion systems have been upgraded sufficiently for extended hyperspace travel and that you have enough Endurium crystals on board to convert into fuel for the trip. Alright. So you pretty much have to go out and you might get attacked and who knows what. So I'm probably going to leave it there because that's the end of the tutorial. So what I might do is I might go looking for a fight and then I'll leave the tour there, I think. Ooh. Alright. There we go. Alright, let's do this. Whoa. Shields are depleted. Wow. We're no match for them, are we? We are no match for them. I don't think I can get out of here. I'm wondering what these big things are. Because we're clearly going to die. We can't beat this guy. We might be able to escape though, but I don't know. I want to know what these big things are that are moving around. Oh, they're asteroids. That's interesting. So you can presumably mine these asteroids, but anyway. Time to die, I think. Oh, now I'm dead. The weapons have been destroyed. Oh, there you go. Now I'm dead. So that was combat, guys. No, don't take on pirates unless you've got some missiles and some better shields and lasers, that's for sure. But I wanted to have a go for myself and to show you guys, so there you go. So that was Starflight the Lost Colony, the only complete fan game. Although I fingers crossed there'll be another complete fan game soon, because there's a very talented ex-Bethesda employee who's worked on many official games. He is currently working on a Starflight remake, and I'm very excited about it and trying to help him as best as I can with my limited abilities. So fingers crossed he'll get his game done, and I hope to do a video tour of one of his latest builds very soon, so keep an eye out for that in this series. But for now, I hope you've enjoyed this tour, and stick around to watch other Starflight demos in this playlist. Bye!